Okay, send it to you.
Yeah, let's see. And we'll go ahead and just share it with Teresa.
So did you end up using staples or stitches?
And I told her she would.
Perfect, thank you.
There we go.
All right, good deal. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is
Okay, I got you.
mine.
Yep.
Mhm. There's
I'll plug in when you're ready to go, okay?
that, you want that?
Yep. Device.
You ready?
Yep.
All right, we'll get started. We'll stand to the pledge of allegiance. Call the meeting's order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We will do attendance.
All right. Townsend,
Here.
Malk,
Present.
Williams is present, Malco. Here. Back, present.
All right, we'll move on to public comment. I'm assuming there's one that signed up. All right, claims. We'll move to consent agenda claims. This is number 1 for your information, or A. We've got minutes in there for your information. And then we are just asking for approval of consent agenda items A and B.
Motion to approve agenda items A and B.
Is there a second? I will second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That has been approved. Moving on to new business. We've got a presentation from Mrs. Dill.
Thank you. Yes, very
Yeah,
excited to be here. Talking to you about 2 different things. We're going to talk about FBLA, which stands for Future Business Leaders of America. And I have 2 of our members here to present for us. Very proud. I said, who would like to do this? You're welcome. Who would like to do this? And you 2 gals said, we'll do it. And that's what being a leader is all about, right? So I'm going to let them go first.
So in total for FBLA, we have 111 members, which is probably one of our biggest highlights, I would say. Our yearly activities. So from July to June, we plan our program work, which is what we do for the whole school year. And 2 years in a row, we've gotten national champion chapter silver, and that's nationwide.
Which is what I just gave you.
Okay.
So that allows us to have our vision of what we're gonna do for the year.
So one of another highlight would be Tribal Grounds. And this is an opportunity for us, I think it's every Tuesdays and Fridays to, sell coffee and other snacks. This offers us money to raise for ourselves, and we can use this for events like state and many other conferences.
What's strawberry boba lemonade?
So it consists of, can we talk about it?
Please.
Lemonade, and there's like little bubble popper things, and they're strawberry flavored.
Okay, is that it? Do a lot of people like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a huge seller.
Okay.
And
I've seen it. I've never really knew what it was.
I told them the kids, I told them my bad, and then they've got to tell me the topic. But the kids come up with ideas to grow that business. And so then we talk about that, what would sell, what's seasonal, what do you think? And they have some other ideas we're batting around. But then one of them came up and asked me, what about boba? And I had the same idea, I have no idea.
It's boba. Sounds like a made up
I
word.
was like, yeah. I don't know what it is. So the kids came up with that, and then Mrs. Skinner, who is my partner in crime here, my right arm, she researched it, and we were able to make them and still make a profit, and it was a big seller, and we sold out of boba at the dice tournament.
Really?
To the point of an emergency purchase.
I wondered
for
who
Tuesday.
was doing the vote because some of the kids around us and I was like trying and they're like, it was in the cafeteria
Yeah.
or whatever.
It was us. And I want to shout out Patty at the moment because she comes every Tuesday and Friday morning and works. So that's a big deal. And there's a crew of them that do, so you guys go on.
So the color run, it's a 3K run walk for all ages. The proceeds that we raised this year, we raised $500 for the elementary backpack food program. And we had a $15 discount per each student who attended the fall leadership conference.
I want to real quick shout out, I appreciate Mr. Malco. He has helped us out with doing the shirts. And then we have a new business idea that we're wanting to incorporate with learning that side of business and how that's changed and how you have to evolve with technology. And so really cool. So thank you.
Wonderful.
So this is one of the biggest things, the Fall Leadership Conference. This involves us leaving as soon as the school day starts. We go to Gainbridge Fieldhouse to watch the Pacers game. Before the Pacers game happens, there are many activities that you can attend to with other students from other schools who also visit. This is an opportunity, I think, for students to showcase their skills in speaking and doing activities with groups and other people from other schools. We had 80 members total from Wes-Del FBLA attend.
That's great representation.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Look at that. Look at that crew.
I'd say there's 80 plus in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's
It's a lot
awesome.
of fun.
And how many years have you been doing that? It's been a long time. It's been for a while.
Yes. Probably, I'd say it, well, I think, it's a long time.
So for our community service, we did trunk or treat this past fall. We also did in the winter, Secret Families gift wrapping at Toyota.
Secret Families is a great organization, helping the community. And so we want to try to make our presence more there. The kids want to do the shopping, so you have to pay money to be able to do that. You have to have like a threshold for that. And so that's something we're looking at, futuristic idea.
So we have many donations. A lot of donations we have made is the Wes-Del backpack food program. I think this year was $500, and then the Giving Tree donation, which included necessities for people in the community, we donated $300. For Miss Strauss's classroom at Wes-Del High School, she needed a new incubator, so we bought her one of those with all the money we've raised. And our annual sponsorship of $50 for the theater department. The theater department, we were able to donate $50 to them. So for the Indiana FBLA Leadership Conference, it's March 13th through 15th at Horizon Convention Center in downtown Muncie. There's projects and objective tests, which the projects, you can pick anything you want to do. There's like parliamentary procedure, there's agribusiness, there's business procedure, and you just pick and you get a rubric from the skill and you work on it and you present it to them and you can place. And then the objective tests, you basically take a test and there's 100 questions and it's really impressive because people do really well on it. There's opportunities to grow your leadership skills. So we had a bunch of workshops we went to. We got to network with a bunch of other people. It was really cool. And the FBLA funds will help students with a portion of the cost to stay 2 nights at the Muncie downtown area.
How many schools attend that?
Oh, it depends. Most of the location. So FBLA in the state of Indiana is a little smaller, but 20, 25.
Does the location change?
Yes, the location changes. And so when it was in Indy, our representation was larger, kids wanted to go to Indy and stay all night. Once it came to Muncie, the draw wasn't there because why do I want to spend money to stay all night
In Muncie.
in Muncie?
Yeah.
And thankfully, FBLA understood that, and they have complimented our chapter because they said, we want to get you back, you guys always do well. And so they worked with us, so our students do not have to stay all night if they don't want to, and that's the first, because they always had to, even in these schools had to. And so that's been a big help. So now we have an option for this upcoming one for March. Students can participate just in Friday. They can only do Saturday if they want. They can do both, and come back for the awards banquet, but not stay all night. And there's a different price value for that than those that want to stay all night. It's $295. But what the girls are going to get to in a minute, thanks to Austin, who asked us about the VEX tournament, we were able to make enough money to then give $100 discount. So now kids that want to stay all night can stay all night for $195. So I'm very pleased at the moment we have 12. We have 12. So that's getting closer to our Indy numbers. Next year, I believe it's in Kokomo.
What is
Every
the,
year.
why did they go away from Indy?
Good question. Cost, and I know one time we were at the Sheridan downtown, they received a larger, booking, like they went with the larger group. And so then, they sought out another venue. The Muncie location is a great option. You've got the hotel, kids don't even have to go. And now I can tag on to let us test there as well. So we'll see if Kokomo works out, because Muncie's quite nice, actually. It really is, in comparison to some other places we've stayed in Indianapolis.
So the Indiana FBLA Leadership Conference, so our weekends consisted of competitions, a dinner at Lahody's, a golf simulation at the clubhouse, and we also went to Made in Muncie. Here's some photos of, this is opening night ceremony, dinner at Lahody's, this is golfing, all the awards they won, and then our first place winners, and then Addie, who won his speech.
I won intro to public speaking, and actually I didn't know that I had to give a speech to everyone, and Wes-Del told me, and I got really scared, but it turned out fine.
Well, you won, right?
Yeah.
It all worked out.
Our fears.
I love it, love it.
So I think Ms. Gill touched on this a little bit already. So Tribal Grounds, the proceeds were able to help lower the cost for students to attend state leadership conference. So thank you, Mr. Williams, for the opportunity to participate in that.
Then we have our in-house middle school leadership conference, which teachers and coaches nominate middle school students, and it's 6th to 8th grade. There's leadership shown in and outside of the classroom, and the high school FBLA members run the conference. And these are some of our leaders.
It's a big draw, and that wraps up the school year. So we do that in May, and the teachers, it's just amazing because I usually send out the email, and next thing you know, we'll have, mental look to see our number, but we were approaching 100 kids, weren't we, last year? And so we divide them up, and then they compete in stations where you go, and it's centered around leadership, because you don't know who's in your group. So we put varying ages, right? You're not just with your friend, but you have to work together. And then each group has 2 high school students that are promoting them, like, come on, let's go, we gotta get to the next station, we gotta do this. And then they, of course, run the stations, and it's by far my favorite event. It really is.
Can you let us know what date you're doing this?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I don't have it on the calendar yet, but I will, but it'll be in May.
Okay, great.
Well,
So upcoming, we have the escape rooms at Wes-Del High School. This is March 3rd of this year. This includes 6 rooms in the high school to choose from, $5 per person. a murder mystery dinner, which is April 10th of this year, location Wes-Del High School. And then we also have a 3-on-3 basketball tournament upcoming in the spring.
Shane, are you getting that?
If my knees will allow it.
Mr. Williams, I'll play with you.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Right
He's
now.
tall, so we can just go.
Let's write it
Go
down.
to him.
We'll be expecting you.
Yeah.
So our business operations, students learn management, leadership, finance, marketing, and advertisement topics and skills. We have travel grounds once again every Tuesday and Friday. We did travel grounds at the Hex Robotic Tournament. We have Warrior Marketplace website and marketing. We have leadership conferences and field trips, fundraisers. We have the color run, the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, the escape room, and the murder mystery dinner.
Very well done.
And we also have some gift certificates for you guys to come to tribal grounds whenever you want. So
Oh,
get yourself a
okay.
free snack and a drink.
Yeah, we'll do Billy Moore and get some.
That's what I was just thinking.
Get a boba tour. Yeah, we'll we'll have a boba lemonade. Wonderful job, ladies.
Do you have the itinerary set for the, March that's in Munson? Yeah, for like
Yes,
dinner and
what
everything?
we're going to do.
Yes, for like a dinner night?
Right. I will do that. Mrs. Skinner, hold on, Mrs. Skinner printed the tickets and I forgot to bring them. You're fine.
I will get those to you guys. If you want to bring them out to central office, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, she'll bring them. She did that so, and that was my fault. I changed the person.
It happens.
That's, I'm telling you. The schedule, because I wanted to mention that you helped us, you and Melissa gave us extra money to go to Hoagies. And so that is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to sponsors and ask, because the Friday night that we're there, I like to take the kids to a fine dining. That was really a cool experience. You're already dressed up. We're going to do the opening ceremony that night. And then we went to Lahodi's. Of course, that is not cheap because it's a fine dining experience, right? And so Tribal Grounds was gonna pay some, and then appreciated you guys helped out. We're now looking at 3 different places, and I'm going to call and see whoever gives us the best discount. So Lahodi's or Chop House or Veronese.
Oh, all 3 are.
So that's the game plan. So as far as that goes, that's gonna be what we try to do on Friday. We're planning right now to go to an escape room prior to the Muncie escape rooms prior to going to the testing, which will be Friday. So they get to dress in comfortable clothes for that. And then they have to, anytime we do opening ceremonies, these types of things, we have to be dressed professionally. And so then Saturday, we did Maiden Muncie. I'm waiting to see for sure, all my kids, and then we'll decide what do we want to do. I think axe throwing sounds really good, but that probably isn't a very smart idea. But, we'll do something because we have a lot of fun things to do in our own backyard, right?
Yeah.
And so then we'll go out to eat again, and then we'll do the closing ceremonies. Then that's where we find out when's things. Well, I'm sorry, Sunday we find out. It was just Patty that found out because she was the winner for the speech. So that's gonna be a fun weekend, but I'm still in the planning stages for just how that all will be laid out. It's really small. Can I segue into the Ball Brothers Foundation? I do have a few slides for that.
Okay, yeah.
If you want to throw them up there. I wanted to show you a before and after, okay? So we had the privilege of receiving the Ball Brothers Foundation grant. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that. There's a number of people I want to give a shout out. One's Austin, because we wouldn't have had the opportunity to receive this grant had he not already been in that space, knows and checks, and does a great job of not only, helping he always helps everybody. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, and so without his help, this wouldn't have been a possibility. He had promoted this, or he suggested it to me, and we applied for a couple, then it got out on the radar enough that this is what we were trying to do, and the Ball Brothers asked us to apply. Reached out to us, and they've since done that again. So I'm very excited to tell you that. Fingers are crossed for that.
There we go.
So.
I shouldn't have looked at it.
There.
Stay short in the corner. Okay, hold your breath.
I'm not gonna do anything.
All right,
Said
we're
I'm ready.
good. We're good. We're good.
All right,
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
Yeah, I think it's a quarter.
Just was basically saying, what are we trying to do? Okay, and the last slide I have, I'm gonna jump, don't go there, but phase one, this is basically phase one, because we get the other grant. Of course, you don't know, so that's one of these, that allows us to go to phase two, okay? But phase one, the vision was to create a network within a network, right? Because we're within the school's network, and for obvious reasons, you cannot practice cybersecurity on the school's network, and you can't, your hands are tied. And so to really truly teach a hands-on class, you need the ability to do so. So that was what I wanted to ask. Can I just have a network within our network? So within my four walls, I control that room. All right, and I don't have to say, hey, can you download this for me? Can you make this site available? We're studying some cybersecurity, but we're studying it. So it became more difficult. And thankfully, Wes-Del's so forward thinking. And so they said, yeah, go for it. We'll give it a try. So we added that vision to this grant. That was the purpose. And it's basically a sandbox on the sandbox, right? Because we have the rules or the confines of the correct network of the school, but then I have a sandbox, right? And then I provide one for the kids. And that's how this is set up. But you have to have equipment to make that work. So we were able to use the $59,000. Thankfully, the Ball Brothers Foundation found purpose. They saw the vision, and they tagged on some funds for us. That's really cool, because none of that is cheap. So we were able to also have a partner, Deltec, which was originally the business name, but now they were now the AME group. All right, and so here in Muncie, Scott Jordan is the person who said, yeah, we'll be your business partner, and also place some of the orders for me so that we could get a better price. I'm ready for the next slide. Maybe it'll be the next slide that stands.
Right.
There we go. I just wanted to show you before. So this is what we were working on. Here's my normal tables, and it'd be like, hey, be sure you get everything cleaned up because my next class is coming in. You can't leave your stuff on my table. And so this is what we used to do. And my back, I don't know if you've noticed the hodgepodge of just, basically I would just like, you don't need that anymore. Okay, well, we could use it in here. We were just limping along with whatever we could have. And that's how that goes, right? It's not cheap. I do want to shout out, this is our new assistant, IT technician, Braden Hill, yeah.
And then this is at high school?
In high school.
Yep.
I had to shout that out.
Yep.
So, you see, he looks like he's doing a great job. Next slide. That's our before. So now this is what we've been able to use some of the money for. We now have new furniture, new equipment. It all matches and it's all new. It's all, industry standard. AME bought it, placed the order, we paid, right? And so they were able to get what we needed according to the specs that we need. I loved what Mr. Williams has in his workspace, and you'd just be surprised at just having the right workbench and environment to spark the interest for kids. And then they come in and they're just ready to dive in, and that is amazing. Just the different work, the ergonomics of it, and the setup has been very helpful. We were able to get, if you go to the next, that shows you, the breakdown of what we've purchased. So we were able to get the networking equipment, 2 firewalls, remember 2 sandbox, 2 firewalls, 2 access points, 2 switches. The kids will learn how to set up a firewall, how to set up the access points, how to manage a switch, create VLANs, which divides up who can be on what network. They can learn all of that in a confined space that's not gonna, you know, it's safer, okay? They get to learn to do that. We were able to purchase 12 new, you know, like the industry type desktop, laptop with docking stations. Thank you, Mr. Santino's class, for creating nice areas for me to put my stations and helping me with setting that up. All the peripherals that we need, which would be the monitors. We got some gaming keyboards because those are cool with the mic, you know, wireless mouse, stuff like that. And then, of course, we had to have more electricity needs. And so, you know, we were able to do that, get that hurdle fixed to support more power consumption. And then furniture, right? Gotta have a place to sit, and then our workbenches, new chairs in the classroom. I needed a filing cabinet I could lock up my laptops and things that can walk out. And so, if you hit the next slide, this tells you the things we need to do next. I do need to install or purchase the server that will allow me then to give each student their own login, because this is a network within a network. So there's Wes-Del login doesn't work in my network. Okay. And so we've got to get our server purchased and installed yet. Our network cable ran, our students are going to run the cable. That's the cable we're loving at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say that one, but these, yeah, we're gonna run some of these.
Yeah, I think it's right there. Yeah.
There we go. And then AME is coming back to make sure we have our firewall settings, because ultimately that we have to keep that secure, right? And that is part of the grant that they were paid to do. So they're coming back to finish that and then help me set up the student sandbox. So really excited. That's phase 1. Next slide.
Mhm.
This brings us to phase 2. Phase 1 I just explained. So appreciative of that opportunity. If we get the next one, the potential grant is $25,000. And that I would like to then really ramp up what you could do in the cybersecurity world. That's to virtualization. I've had the best time contacting former students who are at different places in the US and getting to be the student by asking them what they suggest, because that's not what I do for a living, right? Set up security, and they have been so fun. One being Mrs. Weitzel's daughter, Robin, former grad, who has, I have an email yet I haven't read. And so the virtualization would be just so cool. We'd set up our own server. It'll be a virtual environment, and kids can just learn about all these things that happen to us in this world based in cybersecurity. So that's what's been going on. So I so appreciate you guys letting us come and share all the fun things that we get to do on a daily.
Keep up the good work. It sounds very interesting.
You guys did very well in your speaking. Yeah, wonderful job. And thank you, Ms. Hill, for everything you do. This is really incredible. And Mr. Williams, thank you. Obviously, we've had a couple plugs for you throughout the meeting. And Mr. Williams has been tremendous. The STEM competition on Saturday was like what I'm calling a combination of football and basketball kind of combined. How many people we had here in the building, it was incredible. And then with the cybersecurity, obviously the Ball Brothers Foundation has been tremendous. We do have a grant that's in place right now. Hopefully we see the $25,000 build up to that point. But it's really remarkable from my perspective to see the energy that you have, that Mr. Williams has. We've got something special here at Wes-Del, and that's created by the teachers we have. So thank you.
Thank you. And Kelly, thank you so much. She printed these awesome cards.
Yep.
Thank you. Always love to hear about everybody's.
The gift cards are for you guys, $10 to come to Tribal Dance.
We're talking about student tour soon, so.
Yeah. Stop in.
We'll do it on a
and
Tuesday.
Tuesday or Friday.
Tuesday or Friday.
You have $10 worth of boba or full coffee, hot coffee.
Thank you very
Hot
much.
chocolate, donuts.
And with that being said, you guys are more than welcome to stay, but if you don't want to, you're more than welcome to leave right now if you don't want to stay the entire time.
We don't take it.
We like you, but we.
Yeah, I just try to do that because not everybody wants to sit through a drive board meeting. Appreciate Lazy did a fantastic job.
Thank you guys
Very much for coming.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for coming. guys.
Thank you.
Oh, you got a little tense.
Yes,
Hey, guys,
that's really cool.
Thanks for coming.
Great stuff. All right. All right, back to business, new business. We've got, item B is employment. For your information, and we're just looking for approval for the consent items A through F as recommended in the employment.
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through F.
So, is there a second?
I was second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Those recommendations have been approved. Moving on to, we are, next item is going to be renewing the contract awards for food to school. Information's there for,
I will make a motion to approve the contract with Food to School.
is there a second?
Yes.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That has been approved. Item D, we had a $100 donation to unpaid lunch balances from Margaret Goman. We just need approval of that donation.
Motion to approve the donation.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Or any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm trying to keep up.
I'll also, that has been approved and we thank, Ms. Gowan for that donation. Tell me when you're ready.
Almost.
All right, so E, transportation handbook. The updated transportation handbook is there for, your review, but we are just looking for approval of the 2025-2026 transportation handbook.
I motion.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion? That has been approved.
Aye.
Oh, did I not do that? Okay. Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay. All in favor?
Aye. Love it.
Oh my gosh. All right, that has been approved now, really with a vote this time. All right. We've got E-rate request for purchase.
Yeah, I'll explain this the best I can. So this is in the technology realm where Mr. Hoff lives. I don't necessarily live there all the time. So what we have is we have an E-rate request for purchase. The way the E-rate works is the state will actually, within the technology realm, the state will actually cover a very large portion of our technology costs. I do apologize. I believe it's 80%. I could be off of that. I'll give you guys the exact percentage, but basically the state will cover 80% of our bill. We pay the 20%. What we're looking to update right now is our lithium ion solution, which is our UPSs. So basically kind of what Tammy was just talking about, we have servers. So we have a number of server racks throughout the district. So the UPS is basically a battery backup. So if we have a weather or something that happens, Mr. Hoff just texted me, 80% is correct. So 80% of the bill is covered from E-rate. So basically this is actually a battery backup in the event that we don't have power. And obviously we've worked with technology enough to know if we have lightning or something and it strikes, like we want to make sure we have our servers actively going at all times.
So the total that we're giving, it would be 20% of that basically.
Yes,
Okay.
that is correct. 20% of the bill, which is, it's incredible. I think I would venture to say that nearly every school corporation in the state of Indiana uses this fund. So we work with the SI to develop the RFP for it. So this is basically saying that we're pushing it out for request for purchase and see what kind of quotes we get back.
I like that quote format.
What's that?
I said I like that quoting format.
Yeah.
That's attached.
Yeah.
Go out and get two. That's all I think.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We go through a bid process. I believe that Mr. Hoff told me we had 8 bids on this project. So, yeah, so we have to do this legally to make sure that we are in compliance with the law.
So we're just looking for approval for the request for proposals. Solution.
Motion to approve the proposals for the ESI.
Yeah.
E-rate.
E-rate purchase request.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I will.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Was there any discussion? All right, it has been approved. Thank you. All right, item G, VEX competition honorariums. Mr. Williams is asking the board for approval for the VEX competition held at Wes-Del on Saturday, February 7th for the honorariums he has listed.
Motion to approve, Mr. Williams' VEX honorariums.
Is there seconds?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That has been approved. We will move on to superintendent's report once Shane gets on it.
I'm so glad you understood.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Okay, I do have a few items, with us having monthly board meetings as we start compiling a lot of information. So I'll go through this fairly quickly. The first area is that I'm looking to potentially update, our district policies. Since I've been here, I think I'm in month 8 at this point. What I've realized is some of our board policies are kind of out of compliance. Legislation, each year you have 10, 15 new legislative updates that impact schools. So really what I want to do is be able to go through all of our board policies and make sure we're in compliance. So that's the biggest thing. For the board's purpose, I do have a presentation for you guys. I'll give this to you after the board meeting so you guys can read through this. This will just give you a perspective of all the steps we would need to go through. I do want to say this is costly. There is a $20,000 price tag with this. So I want to make sure we have an informed decision before we make that step. So I have a packet for everybody. I'll give this to you guys and then we'll reconvene on this. So that's one thing that I'm looking at currently. Kindergarten roundup. We have 2 dates for kindergarten roundup. We have March 11th, which is from 8 until 3. And then we have March 18th, which is 11 to 6:45. And one thing the elementary is asking is they set up an appointment so they can actually go to the building and we know how many people are be coming. So if you could call the elementary, if you have a young kiddo that wants to enroll in kindergarten for the 26-27 school year, please reach out to the elementary. We had some wrestling success over the last month. At this point in time, we have Luke Powers, who is regional champion, which is incredible. That's something to be said. But we also have Raina Du Bois placed 4th place. So we'll have Luke Powers at the semi-state at Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Saturday at 8:30. So if anybody wants to be there to support our young man as he could punch a ticket to state, I suggest everybody try to get there. It's really neat, especially if you have never experienced a wrestling match at the War Coliseum. It's really neat. Also, we had Paisley Chambers and Sophia Grope that was state qualifiers in wrestling, which is incredible. And our girls program is just doing an incredible job. So it's really neat to see both the girls and boys both having success in that. The next area that I want to talk about was our robotics competition. Obviously, we talked about that in length. That was last Saturday. We had 32 teams across the state of Indiana that attended. hundreds of attendees. It paid for not only our robotics, but it also helped out with football. It also helped with FBLA. So a number of other organizations benefited from all the people that came into the district, which is incredible. I also want to say, I want to commend the teachers. When I go into that competition, I was thinking it's Saturday. You're hard pressed to find teachers. I would say that we had 35 to 40% of our teachers there. So that's really incredible. We have a state qualifier in our solo ensemble. So this is going to take place on February 28th at North Central High School. Justin Wise, and we remember Justin. He's the one that put in the cross country path over the ditch. So he will be participating in the state competition, which is incredible. So if you get a chance, be at North Central High School on February 28th. We also have academic all-state football. We had 4 individuals, which speaks volumes towards our football program, but also our academics. Carter Flynn, Brock Nauman, Luke Woodyard, and Luke Powers. All 4 of them received academic all-state honors. We had a lot of success in archery this year. Briar Hill did a fantastic job at our most recent event. He placed 5th out of 122 archers.
Wow. I think they're still waiting to get the state results too for that, so those should be coming in soon.
So that's incredible, and we do a really good job with outdoor sports. I know this is indoor for that, but it's really incredible. And we have a niche within our district that's second to none with our ski, our shooting. Mr. Bat does a really good job with that, but it's the things that we overlook at times. You don't see this at a lot of schools. So to see the success that we're seeing, it's really incredible. And the opportunity to be able to, shoot a bow and arrow in elementary, middle school, and high school, it's incredible. So it's really cool for the kids. Wes-Del Elementary Spelling Bee. I had the opportunity to be a judge for that. It was incredible. We have a lot of great spellers. I would never have the courage to do what they're doing at that age. And we have little kids who are coming up, and I'm like, you can't reach the mic, but you're spelling. It's incredible. So we had Lucy Knapp as our champion and Remy Nichols as our runner-up. And Lucy will be representing Wes-Del at the county level. And I don't have that date, but once we get that, I'll let you guys know. So we have a really fantastic young lady. Also, we did have a canceled instructional day from the IDOE. The IDOE provided us a waiver. We do not have to make up that day. And that was based on the water main break in Gaston. Last one is we're working. So one thing that I've really tried to do as superintendent is networking. I try to go to as many business networking opportunities. I spent some time at the Horizon Convention Center last Wednesday at 6:30 in the morning. They do there's a number of business meetings. Well, I was in a business meeting with Mr. Williams, ironically, at Muncie.
On the move.
Yeah, so that was Muncie on the Move. So I've been doing Muncie on the Move. I've been doing those things, but I had the opportunity to go out to Muncie Power. And through those conversations, I get the opportunity to sit down with local business owners, some manufacturer owners. I had the opportunity to meet a gentleman named Jim Johnson. Jim Johnson runs Spartech out of Muncie. I just got off the phone with him before the board meeting, and he, unfortunately, they're closing the doors with Spartech. With that being said, he is donating any and all equipment to our school to help out our STEM programming. So that is dial indicators, micrometers, measuring equipment, plastic materials, things like that. So we're going to try to figure out. So we're going to take a little trip over to Spartech with a group of teachers and figure out. There's benches, there's desks, there's all kinds of stuff. Obviously, we don't want to take anything that's broken and things like that. But if it's going to help support our STEM programming, I think it'd be really good. So. Yeah, so we had a lot on the docket, but that would be everything I have for my superintendent update.
Thank you. A lot of great stuff going on. And, a lot of these programs that are successful started with just a couple people interested in something and had some adults to support them. So I think that's great and speaks highly of our community and the vision we have. So, all right, on to board comments. Mr. Bat.
I don't have anything to add.
Carrie?
Neither do I.
Okay. Shane?
I'm glad to see that, growing doing well. My daughter enjoyed it for 4 years. My wife was involved with it in the transportation services of the extracurriculars. So I love to see that. So I'm happy.
I was gonna mention the robotics. That's first robotics competition I've ever been to, and you are in for the long haul, but we had so many teams and kids, and like he said, the staff was amazing because that thing runs quick, and it's actually kind of really neat to watch how it works and how they build their robots and things like, I mean, it's insane. But, so props to Mr. Williams and all of his team and everybody that helped out with that. Then obviously, last night they had grandparent night and little cheer night at the basketball game, so it was a packed house for a Tuesday night game for sure, but I love that they do that stuff for the grandparents because you can ask any of them, they drive a lot of miles to cheer on their grandkids, so that's nice that we could recognize them, and then the little cheer camp just to get them started early, but.
Well, that's happened for years and
Oh,
years.
yeah,
Some of
and
those
and they
traditions,
just love it,
they love,
yeah. And then just, good luck to Luke this weekend, so that's all I got.
Well, if there's not any other comments, we just are looking to adjourn. We need
My
a
motion.
Second,
I will second.
and meeting has come to an end. Thank you very much.
Aye.
Oh. Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, meeting is now closed.
I don't, I don't.